Then came the big one, Sonic Unleashed. The best 3D Sonic game yet. Look at how amazing this is. It's fast and looks great. It's fun, fast-paced arcade fun. It's indeed a very inviting game.
My first impressions of Unleashed were very positive. Felt like a proper Sega game. Don't know why. Probably the drifting. As any Sega fan would know, Sega loves their drifting.
But there's a catch. Remember your Sonic instincts? All the lessons the levels of Sonic 3 and Sonic Adventure 2 taught you? The faith you put in levels? The way how you think and react to danger? You do? Well, prepare to get frustrated and die a lot because this game uses your instincts against you.
When I played all Sonic platformers for the research of this video, I made a list counting the main causes of death I suffered. For example, in the Game Gear games it was usually the boss killing me, while in the Wii version of Unleashed it's mostly walking in a straight line that killed me. It's just me, I just can't get used to the tight controls, I guess. Anyway, in the Genesis Mega Drive games I usually die inside the set pieces. You know, clear challenges meant to challenge me. It's satisfying to die there. Well, not really, but relatively speaking, because you failed at a clear task, a focused challenge, and next time I step it up. Now, I discussed that in Sonic Rush, there's very few focus segments. Just everything kills you, no focus, just do everything while everything tries to kill you. Oh. Sonic Unleashed takes it a step further. Okay, here's how Unleashed level design works. The game is fast, so most of the time you're blasting around, no position. This is immensely satisfying, so the stupid part of your brain is completely overjoyed. Now sometimes there's little interruptions, which resemble the vertical part of the classic games. Like here, your rampage of destruction is stopped by the spring standing you up. And there's enemies shooting at you. Homing attacking enemy slows me down here, and there's a deadly wall thing. The interesting thing to note though is this time they're not a warning like before. This time the vertical segments are the cause of danger. After all, if the enemy was just right in front of me, I'd just knock him over with no effort. Boom. So instead of getting interrupted and then finding yourself in danger, now the interruption is the danger. Problematically, interruptions like these happen constantly in the levels, often with no danger following, and the game encourages you to immediately go fast when they're over, so your brain won't see them as warning signals. Anyway, this is the stuff you do for most of the levels. Sometimes there's an actual set piece going on, like these spinning wheels, or even real vertical segments, like here, but they're very rare. But none of these are on my list of what killed me the most in Sonic Unleashed. Oh no. Here's the main cause of death, and the biggest challenge of the game, sucker punches. Let's start with an easy example. Here in Holaska, at the sleigh part, there's a segment you have to react really fast and jump over a chasm. First time you play, you'll probably react too late and die. Well, next time I react faster, you say. Excellent. Now, after having to react super fast on a chasm, there's a speed bump thing that you need to cross over. What happens with me is that my brain is panicking at this point, because I remember I have to react extremely fast here. So I jump almost too late at the chasm, resulting in me jumping over the speed bump. Because I'm scared because I jumped too late, I jump too early the second time, causing me to jump over the second speed bump as well to my death. Now admittingly, most gamers don't suck as much as me and probably hit those ramps, and only people as spectacularly awkward as me fall for this trick several times. Nevertheless, I want to point your attention to the setup. This is the segment I have to jump very quickly over several chasms, your brain thinks. But nope. The game suddenly tricks you with a segment where jumping is deadly, right in an area where your brain is anxious to jump as quickly as possible. Trust me, most of the segments in Unleashed where you die have this kind of mind trickery going on. It's like Nelson Muntz designed the level. So this Abadet segment, you have to sidestep extremely fast. It's a set piece, left, right, left, right, left, right. It's what I'm focused on, and then boom, the ground collapses. Wait, what? Oh, I'm on the water, I can jump back. Oh, the water did the thing. What? Oh. Oh, a wall segment. I have to wall jump quickly or I fall and... Ow. Oh. Look there, springs with enemies behind it. So I get launched into the air and... What? We go to the left all of a sudden? I didn't prepare for that. So here's a 2D segment, and right before the sharp corner comes, it transitions into 3D. So while my brain is still in the process of switching its thinking to 3D, I run off the cliff to my death, because 2D Sonic would have taken the corner. Jump duck, jump duck, duck, jump duck, jump duck, wait, what, wait, what? Come on, it's the dodging 5,000 instant death things at top speed I'm concentrated on. Quick time event? Yeah, The game keeps tricking my brain in thinking the wrong thing. It sets up a pattern of clear dangers, and while you're focused on overcoming those, it suddenly kills you with something that completely comes out of the left field. It sucker punch the game. So after the previous Sonic games taught me to trust the levels, to reward you for seeing patterns and following logical clues, Unleashed mercilessly punishes such behavior. The main result is that I ended becoming extremely paranoid of the level design. By the time I got to Eggman Land, I wasn't even running anymore. I practically walked through the stage. I don't trust any of these damn springs or speed boosts. They just send me to my death as usual. This is my own fault though. I went on playing the game with the wrong mindset. Because what kind of idiot plays a Sonic game like he's playing a Sonic game? Comparing Unleashed's level design to the level designs of previous Sonic games is pointless. This game clearly goes into a different direction, and you practically need to burn your Sonic instincts out of your brain when attempting this one. This game is practically a different genre. It's no longer about instincts, or about structure, or about set pieces. This is memorization. The joy from the game comes from observing, dying, remembering. Now, to be fair here, Unleashed does give out hints to warn you, like the camera changes in position before the sleigh, or the 2D to 3D swap, and the springs here are seen to be positioned into a different direction, so there are visual hints warning you of the sudden dangers. Too bad most of the game looks like this, so subtle visual hints go completely over my head, but for those with fast reflexes and sharper eyes, they probably learn to pay close attention to visual warning. This game is the Sonic game I see the most speedruns and S-rank runs for on YouTube, for that reason. When you memorize the level, it gives an extreme thrill to blast through it with no effort. Fluency, which was the basis of Green Hill Zone all these years ago. Platform segments as we know them, besides a few exceptions, are mostly gone. You have pain at the start, but the levels are short. A lot shorter than the horribly lengthy levels from Heroes on, thank God. And when you play them a few times, going through them at full speed, that's an immense thrill. After getting a lot of experience, it's a lot of fun.
Fun? Yogurt? Unleashed is not fun at all. You cannot say that. This is bad level design. There's people out there from the video games industry teaching us to avoid trial and error level design. This is what I call a do your homework first game. A level in Sonic Adventure 2 is fun, so you enjoy yourself, and you want to play the level again. Because you keep playing the level over and over, you develop a feeling of how you're supposed to play, master skills, and become so good at it that you can tackle tougher challenges and ask ranks. Experience by fun. Sonic Rush and especially Unleashed, on the other hand, you will not enjoy playing it the first time.
Well, the first level.
The first time you play a level would be pure frustration and pain. Only when you memorize the whole level and know beforehand where all the dangers and tricks are, can you master the game. You're not allowed to enjoy yourself until after you memorized every detail.
Well, it's a challenge. The game challenges you to remember all the tricks and traps.
Oh, you're right then. Sonic Unleashed is amazing, and Sonic 06 is even more amazing, because it challenges you to remember all the glitches and mistakes. Learn to avoid the bugs, and Sonic 06 is a perfect challenge.
That's different.
Is it? Oh, it's because Sonic 06 is challenging by accident and Unleashed on purpose? To me, that's like you have a friend you hang out with, but he occasionally accidentally hurts you because he's clumsy. Or you have a friend who's cool but sometimes purposely hurts you because he's a jerk. Sonic 06 is incompetent, a bit clumsy, but means well. When you're not dying the awkward automatic bits, it plays actually quite well. Sonic Unleashed is like a school bully, awesome and cool, everyone wants to hang out with him, but all he wants is push you around. The game gives you tons of power and speed, while our brains are trained that when you can go fast, you should go fast, like in previous Sonic games. Your brain goes mad with power and you just want to rush, and the game will punish you over and over and over again. It goes against the older game's philosophy. To an old Sonic fan like me, this is betrayal.
Fair enough. I still think it's just a harmless trial and error game. Fighting through the challenge does reward you. A lot of people seem to enjoy that.
Oh!
Fair enough, can't argue with tastes.
As a final note, I love that they brought back the hubs in Unleashed. I always like the hub worlds in Adventure. Makes the adventure more solid and more than just a collection of levels. Anyway, the hubs are not really fun to play when Sonic is in his regular form, since he's too fast and the camera too fiddly. Were those hub segments only designed for the Werehog? Again, if you make Sonic fast, he needs big lumps of land. He controls just like in the day stages here, where he maybe should have been more slower, and the hubs was bigger and more open. No, not that slow and that open. That's too much, Mac. Which brings us to Generations. Taking advantage of all the good elements of Unleashed, but adding more platform elements in it, inspired by colors and exploration based on adventure. I think it's a fantastic mix. It has all the trial and error sucker punch gameplay removed, including all the other time-wasty stuff of the old hub worlds and the Werehog stages are gone, but therefore the game only lasts 3 or 4 hours. But hey, it's at least 3 hours of pure gameplay. Not to mention the game is about nostalgia for the old days, and nothing says old days like spending your month's money allowance on a game that can be beaten in an hour. Hey, Sega is primarily about arcade games. All your favorite Sega classic games can be beaten in an hour or two. House of the Dead, Night, Streets of Rage.
Well, except if you pick Skies of Arcadia or Shining Soul as your favourite Sega games.
Yeah, outside of RPGs. So Generations, less frustrating but now easier and shorter. We'll get back to this game later.
Point is, the fourth phase of the Sonic games is pure speed, which either turns the game into a trial and error fest, or into a game where you're blasting through stages like an indestructible tank. So with the four main phases explained, let's highlight some specific games.
Okay, so back to the first phase. Before there was any kind of structure at all, and the Sonic games were normal platformers with speed elements thrown in. The Sega Game Gear games are usually slightly faster than usual platform games. Can't make them naturally fast without causing disaster. What they usually do is just be a regular slightly fast platform game, and occasionally add some rocket tube power up or tubes to give you the illusion of speed. Which is why the Game Gear games have much more vehicle stuff going on than any other game in the series. Perfectly serviceable games for the Game Gear, but because of the simpler design, they're not too memorable. Now, as for why I count Sonic Advance 1 as Phase 1, the gameplay is a great imitation of Sonic's classic era, but the level design is all wrong. Like in Secret Base Zone, you start with a typical automatic speed fun part, but then there's this weird stop where you're stuck in this room with springs. There's no challenge, it's not fun, it's just a weird random break in the speed, and ruins the pacing. Although at least there's still movement going on, I guess. Speaking of which, remember the belay stuff from Sonic 3, always in motion? Well, in Sonic Advance, get ready for dead stops. Boom! No rhythm here. Sometimes the fun automatic bits even send you straight into danger. That's betrayal, man! You can't do that! And then there's bits like here in an Egg Rocket Zone, where we get our first glimpse of Dims directly using our game instincts against us. There's a time limit, while you need to climb a rocket real fast. When going to the right, the default platform game direction, you'll find a speed bump, which sends you off a cliff back to an early part of the level. And there's no warning or any visual hint what will happen until it's too late. So that's Sonic Advance 1. Mostly a classic game, but with a few early traces of Unleashed's more diabolical level tricks. But again, I like the game. It's just interesting. Well, file size is getting large again, so we'll stop here. Next time we discuss the first Sonic adventure, briefly look at Sonic 06 and the storybook games, and then review the fifth phase.